Good evening, Speed Gaming 3. Welcome to another Super Metroid Randomizer multi-category tournament 2022 matchup. This is a Week 6 matchup featuring tonytyoung and Belthasar. The settings for this week are Chozo item randomization, light area randomization, and boss rando. What that means is, well, there's quite a lot to explain there, so we'll start with Chozo. With Chozo item randomization, all of the items among the Chozo statues and the boss item, the items that are dropped by bosses, are mixed up within each other. So that includes all of the major items, 3 E-tanks, reserve tank, I believe 2 missile tanks, 2 super missile tanks, and a power bomb pack. Everything else is mixed up as a minor item. Light area randomization means that the areas are mixed around a little bit, but you'll be able to sort of predict where they are because all of the vanilla connections remain from there. So let's say from criteria, you know that there are 2 connections to Green Brinstar, 1 to Red Brinstar, 1 to Torian, and 1 to the Wreck Ship. So that'll always hold, you just have to figure out where things are. And boss shuffle means when you go to a boss room, sometimes the boss you're expecting to be there will not be there. It cannot be vanilla, but you'll see at least 2 in different places. So we'll be starting momentarily. So the first few checks are going to be typical. They're going to go down to Blue Brinstar, they're going to pick up their Morph Ball, and they'll likely pick up the minor item that's in the ceiling and whatever other minor items they have access to, and then from there, they'll figure out what they can do. If they get bombs or power bombs, they can check the meme route portal, which isn't a huge power play in light area as it is in full rando, because in full rando it could be anything, but because we know what things can come out of criteria, it's less valuable. But we'll see what happens. In Chozo, this Morph Ball is vanilla pretty much all the time. Well, actually, it has to be all the time, doesn't it? Okay. First Chozo statue, which normally has the game's first missile pack, has Screw Attack. Alright. So that is access to the 2 portals on the left side without needing bombs. It's also a really good luxury item, because Screw Attack kills nearly every enemy in the game. E-Tank's pretty good. If our runners get a couple of power bomb packs, they'll be incentivized to go to Gauntlet as early as they can. We'll see if any power bombs come up. Oh, it's 2 E-Tanks, which... Oh, okay. So those are not any of the logical E-Tanks, because the logical E-Tanks in Chozo are only the E-Tanks that are on Chozo statues, so our runners may consider doing hell runs with these, but if they're thinking about logic, these are not logical tanks. And of course, without bombs or power bombs, they can't check the meme route portal, so they have to go up. Screw Attack will make checking under Mother Brain a much easier check. tonytyoung just going right down there, no problem. Picks up the first missile. And Belthasar, likewise. I did mention it before, these runners are 2 and 3, so while no longer in consideration for playoffs, this will be a really good match, so hopefully you stick around and watch it. These are 2 very talented runners. Without bombs or power bombs, they can't check 230 just yet, and that is important in Chozo because that is in fact a Chozo statue, so in full rando or major minor, you pretty much just skip 230, but it's an important check in Chozo. Charge beam really quick. That means our ammo hunt will be pretty much minimal. So that's going to be... This may be quick depending on where the other items drop. That was an interesting setup for the Alcatraz escape there from tonytyoung. Alright, tonytyoung's taking a save at the ship, which implies he's going to go up to Gauntlet. And Belthasar is taking the same save. Yeah, this wall jump is tricky. Both our runners getting it though, so it's very good. They both have 2 E-tanks, so this is a pretty safe gauntlet. They won't be able to check the back, but it's only 2 minor items, so they're pretty much good to just go out the way they came. And that's our bombs. Alright. So they can't do the orange doors yet, but they can do bomb blocks, and they actually can check the back of Gauntlet now. And of course, Screw Attack just making this academic, just extremely just spin on right through. And in the back of Gauntlet is 2 missiles. A little boring there. At Terminator, we know it's a minor item, but could be something good. It's another E-tank. All right. tonytyoung is going back. Can't go to the right side yet. Doesn't have super missiles. Can't go to 230. Oh, wait, you can go to 230. You have bombs. Very good. This could be something big. And at 230, we have another beam. It's a wave beam. It is not progression, but it is pretty good, especially since I have charge already. And Belthasar's going to pick up wave as well. Their progression, however, is extremely linear at the moment. They cannot go anywhere else. They must go to the left side of Criteria to check the 2 portals here. No access to meme route, no access to the right side, so you can't check the wrecked ship portal, and you can't check the red brimstone portal either. Green portal goes to Green Prince Star, specifically Green Hill Zone, and there's a whole bunch of checks here. Like this other E-tank. Right, tonytyoung is likely going to check now the charged Chozo statue and pick up another E-tank for his troubles. Ugh, it's a Chozo missile. Alright, so that's a logical missile tank, so if you're keeping track of progression, logical progression specifically, that's good to know, and yes, have another E-tank. Interestingly enough, cannot do the Spore Spawn skip because we don't have Super Missiles yet. Unless you want to actually fight Spore Spawn, but then you're locked if you don't find Supers. So you can't do that. Instead, tonytyoung is going to go back towards the very first room in Green Brinstar. Probably going to check the Brinstar Reserve item, which is a Chozo statue, and there's a bunch of minor items in that area too. Ooh, that's another missile tank under the bridge. Our runners definitely want to find their first super. Oh, there's a super, and it's a logical super as well. Alright, so that's our first supers, and we get a whole bunch of other missiles to pick from as well. Tony is going to skip that missile, which is fair, considering we've already found Wave Charge. Is it Power Bombs? No, it's another E-Tank. So we're less than 10 minutes in, we've already found 6 of the 14 E-Tanks in the game already. tonytyoung's going to take a save here, and he's going to probably take the portal? Don't usually see this save in Light Rando. Oh, he's going to go back the other way. Okay. So out of Green Brinstar is 2 Criteria portals and a Red Tower portal. So, I would assume he is going to look for the Red Tower portal, because there's really not much we can do in Criteria. Alright. So, it looks like Belthasar took the extra missile pack that was in Bryn Reserve, and tonytyoung is going to check out the Chozo statue for super missiles, and it is Spring Ball. Alright, so Belthasar is going to give us our first look at the portal that's out of Green Bryn. We'll see where this goes. Well, tonytyoung is going to go down, so we're going to see both of the portals, and we'll see where they are. This is Red Tower, at the bottom of Red Tower. Belthasar doing a quick think, and it is going to go forward. There is Spazer available, so that is definitely something you want to check out while you're here. Meanwhile, tonytyoung is going to find the other Criteria portal down here. We'll see where this one goes. And that goes there, and that's a reset. And the reset's good. It gives them information. Belthasar finds high jump boots at Spazer. That's a really good movement item, and puts may see some things, but definitely like to have high jump boots. And as Polar Bear Bunny in chat mentioned, the tube portal is now in Logic. Polar Bunny, our tracker tonight. Trackers are important. tonytyoung is going to check portals in Red Brinstar. And Belthasar finds the moat. Where was that portal? But, right, never mind. Got it. Alright, let's see if Belthasar checks the tube. Belthasar can't check the tube, he doesn't have power bombs to blow it up, and neither does tonytyoung, so we have to go up Red Tower. tonytyoung picking up his high jump boots at Spazer. Belthasar's gonna make the climb. Now, they've got a whole bunch of E-tanks and bombs, but they don't have power bombs, they can't check X-ray, so never mind on that. And we find the crab hole. Alright, Belthasar and tonytyoung will make the trip up Red Tower, where we'll find the Chozo statue for Alpha Peebs, and we'll find 2 other portals as well. Red Brinstar in Area Rando is sort of the hub of everything, because there are 1, 2, 3, there are 6 portals, and in Light Area we know that one of them goes to Green Brinstar, one of them goes to Criteria, one goes to Upper Norfair, and the rest go to West Meridia. And there we have it. We have Alpha Power Bombs having Power Bombs as our logical Power Bombs, and it's also our first. So now, our runners have a little bit of a conundrum. If they know the X-Ray D-Boost, that's an option for them. Otherwise, they can continue checking portals. Alright, Belthasar is going to continue picking up minor items here in the top of Red Tower. Never a bad thing. You definitely want to have at least 30 super missiles for Ridley. No guarantee you're going to find the rest of the beams to make the bosses easier. Alright, Tony's taking a save up at Red Tower. He's probably going to go check X-Ray and then reset if it's nothing. Belthasar taking a portal that goes to West Meridia. Yep, tonytyoung is going to attempt X-Ray. Belthasar checking this portal, which also goes to West Meridia. So by elimination, the tube has to go to Upper North. With the amount of E-tanks they have, I think any like location where the portal drops them off, they can easily get to wherever they need to go. It's going to be a little sketch, though, because they don't have enough power bombs for Crystal Flash ammo, so they will have to get there in one shot or find power bombs along the way. Alright, tonytyoung is going to do infinite bomb jumps to get up here. The waivers just were not cooperating with the D-boost. Meanwhile, Belthasar not checking X-ray, and no shame in that, because this is not an easy check to make with this loadout. Alright, let's see if it pays off. That's a huge payoff. Gravity Suit and X-ray. That's going to make things way easier, especially since we know where a whole bunch of West Meridia portals are. That's really good. Meanwhile, Belthasar is going to go back to Green Bryn. What's Belthasar's play here? Tony, don't take too many more hits. Tony! Okay, we're good. Here's a refill. Okay, so Belthasar is going to now check the Spore Spawn item. We know it's Spring Ball. He does not. I don't think he took a save, so he has to keep this. tonytyoung is going to crack the tube and make his way to Upper Norfair. We'll see which portal it drops him off at. See if he has to do a hell run to get anywhere. Drops him off at Kraid, so he can check Business Center and has immediate access to 2 Chozo statues here, one at High Jump Boots and one at Ice Beam. Can also very comfortably make the Cathedral Hell run to Bubble Mountain, where there are 2 more Chozo items in Wave Beam and Speed Booster. Granted, we still don't have any logical tanks, but I think we're ignoring logic at this point since the game has generously gifted us 6 E-tanks. Alright, Belthasar found Turian, which I don't think Tony found, so good info there. Well, there's Speed Booster, so never mind the Cathedral Hell run, we could just zip across Frog Speedway. Question in chat, I don't think logic takes Speedless Speedway into account. Belthasar doing a quick think. He's going to go back to the ship. tonytyoung passing up on X-Ray. Not really of much use until we find Plasma, which is not a guarantee. Alright, so he's going to go across Frog Speedway, and we'll see if he goes to Croc or the Croc Portal or to Bubble Mountain. Right, Bubble Mountain first. Makes sense, there are 2 Chozo statues here. There's a quick check of the missile item, which is just missiles. Meanwhile, Belthasar is going to go down to Retro Bryn. Looks like he's going to check that portal there. And we know it has to be Wreck Ship because there's no other portals left. The thing is, though, he's got a 50-50 on whether or not he can actually do it, because if it drops him off at the back of Wreck Ship, he won't be able to get to the front. Actually, nope, that's a lie. He has high jump boots. You can make that trek. And we're going to welcome in our raiders from SpeedGaming Portuguese. We are in the middle of a Super Metroid Randomizer multi-category tournament matchup between tonytyoung and Belthasar. That's the back, and whoop, there's a Various suit at Speed Booster. Alright, tonytyoung is very much ahead, having already found both suits. So, let's consider Go Mode. It's, Let's see. Speed Booster can get him to the Meridia boss. He can... Wreck Ship is accessible. Lower Norfair is accessible. It's pretty good. He might consider ammo for Ridley, but otherwise, I think tonytyoung is prepped to just go. Meanwhile, Belthasar is making the trip to Wreck Ship, which we know the suits aren't here, so this is not going to pay off. There's an Ice Beam. This is just... everything coming up pretty good for Tony. Alright, so Belthasar's in the Wreck Ship, and until you defeat Fantoon, the ship is off, so won't be able to find any items besides the one at Spooky Missiles. tonytyoung finding the front of Lower Norfair. If you're just looking to just fight bosses, you want to find the back of Lower Norfair portal first. If you go in through the front, you have access to the Screw Attack Chozo item, but it's a longer trek to the boss, so you really want to pick and choose, but tonytyoung has everything he needs, so the Screw Attack check is largely not worth it, so... Alright, Belthasar's going to check the Wreck Ship boss. Let's see what is here. It's a Dragon, which... Belthasar has high jump and spring ball, so he can technically get out of the room, but double spring ball jump is not easy. Alright, tonytyoung found Croc and just immediately noped out of there. Which means the Croc portal has to be the other side of Lower Norfair. Yeah, I would expect tonytyoung to pick up any supers along the way to make the Ridley fight easier. He can complete the fight. He does have charge, so it's not technically soft lockable, but Charge Ice Wave is not the best beam combo in the world. And tonytyoung, just everything just falling in his lap, now has 25 supers max. And he's also going to check the item at PB's in jail, because if that's just another super, then, well, that's just gravy at that point. Just the best. She's just the best. 3 super missile tanks in Lower Norfair, and unfortunately Belthasar taking a death to Dragon. He knows it's there, though, so you can come back to it, and the information is good. Yep, at this point, Tony does not need to check any more minor items, so Fire Flea's just not something he wants to do. Now, he will have to be a little bit... Oh, wait, nope, never mind. He has regular bombs. He doesn't have to worry about soft locking down here. He just needs enough power bombs to open doors, which he has. So Belthasar is going to backtrack. Eventually, he's going to make his way to, well, I don't know if X-Ray's in logic with this loadout, but that's where gravity was. He can make it to Varia, which is at speed booster. That'll at least get him started. But Tony is very much in the lead here. Expect Tony to farm up the last 3 supers before heading in. While it's not a guarantee that it's Ridley, we know it's a 1 in 3, and if it is Ridley, you want to have the 30 supers necessary to beat it without using any charge shots. Alright, at Ridley is Fantoon. Fantoon. Belthasar is going to make his trip to Upper North there. Belthasar doing another think and is going to check a portal, which is Kraid's lair. Right, so he knows it's not Dragon, so it's a 1 in 3 that it's Ridley. If it is Ridley, you can't do it. But you can do any of the others. Actually, no, this has to be... Do we know what this boss is? We've seen Fantoon, we've seen Dragon. So we don't specifically know that it's one or the other, but we'll see what happens. Alright, Fantoon down for tonytyoung. Belthasar taking the save before checking out the boss, in case it is one that he cannot defeat. He knows that it's a 2 in 3 that he can beat it, and it's and if it's Ridley, he has to reset out. And it looks like it's Kraid. Yep, vanilla Kraid. Alright, Belthasar missing the quick kill, but this is an easy cleanup. The item behind Kraid is the grappling beam, which puts X-Ray into logic, which is our gravity suit. Alright, let's see if he heads back there. tonytyoung is going to attempt to get out through Croc Escape, having no space jump, no grapple, but he does have... Yep, he has high jump and speed, which does make this jump and wall jump possible, and that's another power bomb pack. tonytyoung is going to check out the Kraid boss, which we know is Kraid. Meanwhile, Belthasar, grab the X-ray. Again, if you pick up plasma along the way, then you have the microwave beam, which makes a whole bunch of bosses and mini-bosses really easy. Especially since Belthasar knows where Dragon is, that is a easy kill if plasma comes up along the route. tonytyoung getting the Kraid quick kill very easily, well done. And he'll pick up a grapple beam, maybe. He will. Alright, Belthasar picking up Speed Booster at Ice Beam. It's gonna make his movement easy. So tonytyoung's next move is probably to Meridia to clean up the boss that we know is Ridley. For him, it's a 50-50 between Ridley and Dragon, but we know where Dragon is. Dragon's at the wreck ship. Yeah, this is a very easy route for tonytyoung. So he can go to West Meridia through any of the 3 Red Brinstar portals. The one remaining West Meridia portal that we haven't checked yet, which is the one that goes from the tube, we know has to go to East Meridia. And we know Ridley's down there. And then the only other portal out of East Meridia we know has to go to the wrecked ship. And that's where he'll clean up the boss that we know is Dragon, and then right up to Torian. So Tony is going to be finishing it up really quickly. Meanwhile, Belthasar is continuing to look for items. We know that this is going to be Varia, so he'll be good to go, but he'll need gravity at X-ray, so he'll need to go back there at some points. And this is looking like Tony's race to lose at this point. Belthasar picking up Varia. Won't have to do any more hell runs. Meanwhile, Tony is... This looks like East Meridia, isn't it? Did he already go through the portal and I just missed it? Oh no, this is West Meridia because this loops around to the sand pit on the side of Coliseum, or Aqueduct rather. Belthasar picking up Ice Beam from Wave. Tony taking on Bottom. An amount of super missiles makes this really easy. And down goes Botwoon. With Speed Booster, he's just going to zip across. No reason to check the minor item here, which looked like a reserve tank. Belthasar finds the front of Lower Norfair. Again, considering whether or not he wants to go in. But in Light Area Rando, you know that the other side of Lower Norfair has to be in Upper Norfair, so unless you want to go hunting for the major item at Screw Attack, you generally want to look for the back end of Lower Norfair. But he is going to do the Lava Dive. He's going to take a save in case the item is a bust, and the only item I can see him keeping is Plasma or Space Jump. Everything else is a dud. Meanwhile, Tony is going to enter the Ridley fight. "30 supers will take down Ridley." Tony started with, I think, 33, and he missed 1, so he can miss 2 more. If he runs out of supers, he can do 6 missiles to make up each super. He also has Charge Ice Wave, which will eventually get there, but doesn't matter. Ridley's down. That's a Spacer at Screw Attack. Gross. Chooses to keep it, though. Oh, well, what an irony. Space Jump is at Ridley. Alright, Belthasar is going to attempt to get out of this room. It's, possible, especially since we have bombs, but... Oh! Speed Booster, high jump. You can do it. Okay, so tonytyoung is going to take the... It's going to take the portal that he didn't take out of here. Rather, he's going to take the portal that he didn't take to get in here to get to the wrecked ship. And then he'll take on Dragon at the wrecked ship and then make his way to Torian. Right. Starts having a little bit of trouble in the acid in Amphitheater. Uh-oh. He does have a save at the beginning of Lower Norfair, but this is still not a death you want to take. Into the Key Hunter. Oh boy. Alright, so that's a couple of minutes lost, but he knows that Spazer is at Screw Attack, does not have to go back for it. while Tony is in the Dragon fight, and while there's a little bit of a lull in the actions, if you are not already following these runners, go ahead and give them a follow. They are putting on a great show for us, and they are very talented at Super Metroid and Super Metroid type things, like this. Belthasar doing fast pillars very well. Hey look, that's a logical E-tank. Tony's just probably looking for very specifically plasma at this point. Nothing else would really make things faster. But with all 4 bosses down, tonytyoung is going to beeline to Torian. Just kidding. Is he also going to check Wreckship E-tank? Did Tony check right side super? Because I feel like... Oh no, he's going back the other way. I assume this is to get to Criteria. I have my, I have a little bit of my portals mixed up, because I have a red Brinstar portal and a green Brinstar portal going to the same thing in Criteria, so I assume he knows where he's going, and I do not. Right, because we know that the front of the wreck ship goes to East Meridia, so this has to go to Criteria. And look at that. It's the meme route. Might as well pick up a super. So I don't know if Tony checked the moat portal, so he's... From where I am, I think he has a 50-50 of whether Torian is on the left side or the right side. So we'll see where he goes. If you want to hedge his bets, he could take the save in Parlor, and then go to one side. If it's wrong, check the other. But no, he'll just check the portals. We do know that the left side is correct, because Belthasar checked this before. Speaking of, Belthasar is going to take down Fantoon in a little bit. And tonytyoung is going to make his way into Torian. In Area Rando, when you take the Torian elevator, you get a full ammo and energy recharge as if you went to the ship. So with Ice Beam, this is going to be pretty easy. He says as he misses ice and now has to have the Metroid slash onto him. Alright, Belthasar doing X Factors. Looks like they missed on the first pass, and now they're just floating around the room. Belthasar is doing... Yep. Doing charge shots and X-ray to damage down Fantoon. Meanwhile, tonytyoung is coming up on the Baby Metroid cutscene. I think he's got all the tools for Baby Skip. One more little block there, and this looks good. That was cutting it pretty close there. Gets it down, no problem. Alright, so has Ice Beam, has Ice Wave, so this should be a pretty easy Zeb skip. Did not turn off Screw Attack, though, so this is going to... Yeah. Let's try it again. Alright, looks like we're doing the... Alright, so we did the Spring Ball Zeb skip, which... Did he pick up Spring Ball? I guess he did, otherwise he wouldn't have been able to... Oh, you don't need Spring Ball for that? Okay. Never mind, I just, I knew that was the setup for Spring Ball Zeb skip, but, cool. Alright, tonytyoung is in Mother Brain 2. Normally you need 60 supers for this, but with charge you can make up the difference. So this is an amount of charge shots with Charge Ice Wave. Tony's likely holding on to the last 14 supers for while the brain gets into the catch-up phase. You get through that as fast as you can. And there we are. Belthasar figuring out where to go next. Tony not doing stand-up glitch. Don't save a lot of time with this beam combo, so always good to just play it safe. Meanwhile, Belthasar is on a gravity suit hunt before he can go into Meridia. We know that is at X-ray, so may not get it before Tony hits the dot done. He's gonna check Croc, and we know that's not the answer, unfortunately. There is one Chozo statue down here, but we know it can't be anything. I mean, it could be Plasma, and that's about it. Down goes Mother Brain for Tony T. Young. Just a few short minutes away from the full escape and a win for Tony. Oh, just an E-tank at grapple. Ugh. Meanwhile, Tony is going to spark up, climb. And everyone get your GGs in chat for Tony T. Young, who finishes in first with a official racetime.gg time of 56 minutes and 29 seconds. We'll see if Tony wants to come in for an interview, and there he is. GG's, Tony T. Young.
Thanks. GG's to Belthasar.
Yes, on stream he is still running, and let's talk about the biggest turning point in this race, which was your X-ray deboost to get to gravity, because Belthasar did not do that, and that put you ahead by miles at that point. So, was that your, like, once you saw so many E-tanks and bombs, was that your plan?
So I usually do it when I have 3 tanks, and I think I went in with 6 and with bombs, so I messed up the last deboost, it didn't matter. I was able to get back up. Uh, Plus, I think I saved at the top of Red Tower after checking Alpha Peeps and getting power bombs there. So it was a play that really didn't have any downside to it. Um, I like to think of the X-ray deboost as the new early supers mock ball. You kind of need to be able to do it. Um, but yeah, it yeah, finding that gravity super early and the placement of variant charge just made the seed super easy to route. So pretty
Yep,
happy
yep.
about that. I didn't have to do croc. I didn't have to do GT or check screw. So that was very nice placement of items.
Yeah. Yeah, once you found gravity, everything else was just right in your path, and that just made things really, really easy. And at this point in the stream, Balthazar did take the forfeit, so and he will not be coming in for an interview. So, um, yeah, after you found gravity, you found variants at speed booster, and then it was just go up the planet and just clear out everything. So that was really good, really good.
Yeah. For a moment there, I was a little bit worried about ammo, and then I found 2 super packs in Lower Norfair. So even if Ridley was
Yeah,
in there, it was completely fine.
yeah. I mentioned it during the comms that that like all the supers are just given to you. Like I think it was actually 3. There was one at Frankersy, there was one at Hadarubi, and then there was one at the PBs in jail. So that got you to 30 on the dot. Yeah, so that was just really, really fortunate. And as it turns out, you didn't need it for Ridley at Lower Norfair, but it was just good to just have that, just get it out of the way.
Yeah, I ended up farming for extra supers, which cost a little bit of time, but in the grand scheme of things, I'd rather have the supers than not. Plus, it saves me farming them later, so technically doesn't waste that much time.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can farm like mini crate faster, so
Hmm. Yeah, of
I don't know.
course. Yeah. Also, if Ridley is there, then you don't want to get caught short. So it was fine on my end for what that's worth.
Yeah, I thought about turning off ice and trying to X Factor Ridley if Ridley was down there and if I didn't find ammo. But I'm glad I didn't have to do that because I'd probably just end up missing my X Factors and take like 3 tanks of damage. So yeah,
Yep.
everything worked out.
Yep. That's all I really want. All right, so let's see. Going into week 7, that is the settings. I think it's just everything at this point. It's full with uh, countdown, random start, full area, and not Chozo and boss rando. So that's going to be a fun week.
Yeah, full area, full countdown, and boss shuffle, like that
Mhm.
combination is probably my favorite. Random start is fine. I don't think it adds too much, but it does change things up. So it does make the early game a little bit more interesting. I think a lot of times I'm afraid of runners who are better at like vanilla categories just because their movement in the early game is super good. But um, yeah, random start it's gonna be fun.
I think so too. All right. Any other thoughts that you have?
Not really. I, s- I don't know if you guys caught, but I took a save in Green Bryn to check early
Yes.
supers and
Hmm.
then check the transition down there.
Yeah.
What I
It's
probably should have done was check the mode after finding that I was in criteria, but I I didn't think about that. I already saved and I was already set on resetting.
right, right.
But I one of the reasons I wanted to skip that spring ball was because it probably would have baited me into suitless Meridia. Um, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. So,
Hmm.
uh, pretty happy about finding gravity in this stage.
Yep, yep. Yeah, I noticed it. I'm just like, that's a save I don't usually see, but I it worked out for you, so I can't really say too much about it.
Oh, and Bunny pointing out in chat I didn't have power bombs, so of course I couldn't check mode.
Right, right. Yeah, power bombs were not early, so that they eventually came. I actually think they were at alpha power bombs, so that was fitting.
Yeah, the nice thing about Chozo is you're even if you're on a super or power bomb hunt, you know where it can be. Unlike in full or even major minor, like your minors can be any of the minors. So yeah, like a late power bomb or late super in Chodo doesn't feel as bad as any of the other settings.
Right, right. Alrighty. Yeah, think that's gonna I think that's gonna do it for us. So, once again, everybody, if you're not following the runners, go ahead and give them the follow because they put on a great show for us, and yeah, you should do that. And if you want to give me or Tracker Polar Bear money a follow, you can do that also if the bot's working. All right. Yeah. So that's it. Let's see what the schedule's looking like for the rest of the week. All right, so at 10 o'clock, we have Derp versus Nevdi, and we have P12 versus White Mage Becky, and then tomorrow we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are a bunch of races, but nothing currently scheduled. So that's going to do it for us. I hope the rest of you have a good night, and we will see you next mission.